about something very important. Everybody wants to build wealth, right? Everybody wants to, either, and when I talk about wealth, wealth simply means money wealth, time wealth, peace wealth, okay? Money is what everybody talks about. Investment, you want to, your paycheck, all of those. That's what we often talk about. But there's also the other three types of wealth, or two. There's the money, there's the time wealth, your ability to live life at your own terms, which is financial freedom, the freedom to live life at your own terms. Number three in itself is the health wealth. If health fails, every other thing fails. There's a reason why they say health is wealth, right? So a lot of time we often equate money to wealth. That's not true. And there's the peace wealth, financial peace, having peace of mind, right? Having your, things like, trust, understanding that you are protected. You can sleep with your two eyes closed. It's not like you're under panic. That's peace in itself. So those are like the three or four types of wealth, because at times it could be lumped up to three, or it could, if we try to spread it, it could be four. So tonight we're talking about, one of it, right? Starting, which is the money wealth, but then it's also linked to each other, because I am not just one of those people that just tell you build money, money, money. No, I tell you, okay, when you have money, to what end? To what end is the money that you make, right? To what end? And that's what leads to the other things I talk about: the health wealth, the peace wealth, and all of that, the financial freedom, right? That's why it's impossible to talk about one wealth and leave the other. It's not possible. So welcome here. And tonight we're talking about starting from zero in 2026. If I had to start from zero in 2026, a journey to a millionaire, because this community, like I've mentioned, we are building a $1 million league. Okay, this is it's named $1 million league, because I am trying to, the goal is that we hold as many people as possible, right, to get to that millionaire status. Because a lot of time we always think that, becoming a millionaires are from another planet. It's impossible for you to become a millionaire. All of those, that is, basically you trying to build wealth, okay? You can actually become a millionaire, and it's not so difficult as against what people say, and you're wondering what gave me the authority to do this. That's because I'm a doctor of business and I'm a serial investor. I've attained that status myself. If I want to do it again, I can do it. I have clients that have done it. I'm not here to sell any product. I am just here to share my knowledge and just help as many people as possible within this $1 million league that we are creating. Welcome, MTD Dew. How are you? Let me know where you're connecting from. If you care to share, and if you haven't subscribed, you haven't subscribed or to the channel, consider doing that, because we're building $1 million community. So thank you all for sharing the live. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for tapping out the live. And if you're wondering, if you're on YouTube and you're wondering, okay, what's tap out the live? That's because we have the TikTok community on one side, and you might be seeing that I'm greeting some people on the TikTok side, and you're wondering that's because we have the YouTube, just because of efficiency and productivity. Awesome. How are you? I'm good. Hello, the P5. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for for tapping out the live. So today we're talking about something absolutely important, and I'm going to go straight into it. So subscribe, follow, tap out the live, like, do whatever you want to do. Get your notes, because class is in session now. If your goal is to become, you're already a millionaire, you want to scale, this is for you. You are just starting. You are just starting from zero, starting life. This is for you as well, because it's going to get you to that journey. Okay. You subbed. Good, Gina. Welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing. And awesome. Yes, you are good. You are in a good place, because now you're a part of the $1 million league. That's what we call ourselves. So welcome, MTD. Thank you for subscribing. So the first thing, and you see me look at my notes from time to time, because I'm very structured. I'm a doctor of business and technology. So it is really class when I say class, because you are supposed to take something out of here. It is not just play. I want to be a soccer player. That's amazing. It's what you do with that career. Whatever career you start, that is the number one step. Awesome. You said I'm a good person. You too. Thank you so much. Great. So let's be real. A lot of people are starting in 2026. They're starting right now. Guess what? Square one is already gone, right? Remember, January 1st, what was that thing that you said you do? You go to the gym, you exercise, your health will be great. You will exercise more, you will save more. This year is going to be an amazing. How is it going? All those goals, all those, new year, new me. Trust me, it is, you have already gone. This is is it 1 quarter? 1 quarter of the year, it's already gone. 1 quarter of the year. Okay, it's almost gone in 10 days. Actually, in 10 days, by the end of the week, it's going to be end of the first quarter of the year. So this is why we're revisiting this again. All right. A lot of people, you're starting to, when you started 2026 with an ambition, but not, that ambition, it could be money, it could be fitness, it could be anything. So subscribe and follow. Okay. Subscribe and follow if you have not done that. I just want to make sure, because it's going to be really packed. So tonight I want to show you exactly how you would go from a zero, right? Just mimicking myself, from a 0 to 1 million step by step. I've done it, and clients have done it, and you can use the same thing. I always say reapply shamelessly. Okay, that's how I built it. I learned from people that have walked that journey, and if you do the same thing, your chances of being there or achieving the same goal it's very, very high. Okay, so number one, understand that you cannot, if you want a get rich quick scheme, you want the riches overnight, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. It works with system and structures. 3 girls, thank you so much for the follow, and everyone that is subscribing on YouTube right now. Thank you so much for doing that, because it helps the channel, it helps you as well, because I'm teaching you. It is not just going to be that you're throwing it away. It means that you are ready to take action, and whatever 1 hour, 2 hours I'm spending with you, it means that you are taking it serious and you are going to use it for your life and change your story. 3 girls, hello, welcome. Awesome. Understand that you can say that, okay, you want fast money. If your goal is fast money, what you realize is that you are just going to keep chasing, and that's where a lot of people get it wrong. People get it wrong because in the process of you saying, oh, you know what, there's this next big thing, options trading, there's the next big thing, there's the what's all this jackpots. You want to go and play all of this lottery. You want to you put your money into options trading, or you put your money into this and into that, things that you don't know, right? People would sell you stuff and you'll be like, oh, they'll tell you, oh, you know what, if you put your $1,000 here, this $1,000 is going to turn to $500,000 in one day. But guess what? The person that is telling you that, how does this person look? That's the first question. How does the person look? Okay? Because if that person really knows, you realize that, and they're telling you you can get it overnight in 1 month, right? Get rich, everybody is on the fast lane, right? Understand that it doesn't work that way. If it works that way, at least I know that the multimillionaires and the billionaires, they don't, it's a process, it's step by step that it is being followed for you to get to $1 million status. Okay, so let's establish that. Okay, I think we all agree on that now. All right, so if somebody comes to you and tell you that, okay, bring this money and you are going to get 1 million tomorrow, be careful. Okay, do your research, trust but verify. And so having said that, you do not build 1 million from just random also. You build it from a system. Okay, you build it from a system, and that's what we want to talk about today. So what are those systems? It starts, and so except you are a trust kid, you got an inheritance, or your parents or you won a jackpot on Las Vegas street, right? Street of Las Vegas, or your parents, worked so hard and they left you a big inheritance. Most of us, we all come from, you get a skill, work hard, get a skill, right? You become a doctor, you become a lawyer, you become an IT expert or whatever, you become a nurse, right? And that is how we all start with our income. And you might be wondering, oh, you know what, is it possible? Yes, I understand that. And let me tell you, it was less than 5%, is it 5% or 10% of the multimillionaires or the billionaires? Is less than 5% when they did the statistics, is less than 5% of them actually were born rich, right? Got it from inheritance or not. So it means that 90% to 95% of them were actually became a millionaire, a billionaire or multi-billionaire as, a first self-made billionaire or millionaire. So go on Google and search it. I always say trust but verify. So it tells you that if we have that level of percentage of those people in that category, right? 90%, okay? Let's even say, oh, you said, somebody said, Skibi said yes, awesome. Somebody just confirmed it, right? So it means that you are not an outlier. It means that it's possible for you, okay? Because 90% of the high wealth, the ultra wealthy, right? They are self-made millionaires, multi-millionaires, not even millionaires, multi-millionaires and billionaires, right? It simply means that you can do it. It means that it's just the regular people. These are regular people. These are not people from wealth. These are not people. It means that even the ones that they are trusting, they probably wasted it, or they did not get the same knowledge as their parents and did not use it or carry the money further. They were not, maybe a few like Rockefeller family, right, that were able to continue with generation upon generation. But it means that a lot of them are just, so basically, in summary, it just simply means that 90%, let's even use 90% of the category, which is a larger portion, made their self-made millionaires, multi-millionaires and billionaires, right? So it simply means that you can do the same thing. Thank you all for sharing the file. If you can share the live one more time, that would be great, so that we can have more people here. And thank you all for tapping out the light. So we understand that. So it means that your income, this your same salary, this your same paycheck that you are earning, is what is going to help you get there. So if I have to start from zero again, it means that I need to first of all have my earnings. I'm getting my salary, I'm getting a paycheck, I have to work. It starts from there. Now when I get to work, the next thing is understanding that salary, what we were taught is that you use it to fund the lifestyle, right? You use it to, you are paying, you get a job, you do well and all of that, you fund a lifestyle, buy a house, get a car, right? That's what however, what differentiates you or make you a millionaire is what you do with that salary. So the second thing you need to do, or I will do if I have to start from zero again in 2026, is to control my expenses. So I'm going to take this paycheck. This is my paycheck here. I'm going to take some of it. I'm going to put it I'm going to make sure that my expenses are controlled. So I control my expenses. And when I control my expenses, it would give me some buffer, right? It's going to give me some buffer. And that's the biggest thing that I want us to take here. Control your expenses. Number 3 is you build margin. What does this mean? It means that there is the difference between your income. This is your income. This is your expenses. The difference between the two is what is going to get me to that millionaire status. Okay? Income here, expenses. Yes, always correct. Always control your expenses. Skibby D trade. Awesome. Thank you for confirming what I'm saying. So your income here, your expense here, right? That is what is the difference between these two, is what is going to help you build that wealth, okay? Because think about it. If your income is here, or your expense is here, or your expense is here, there's no way, let me not deceive you. There is no going. You continue to work to continue to fund that expense. That's what you keep doing. And that's what is called the rat race. That's what is called, paycheck to paycheck, and that is what is called the failure that, people talk about. Working to 65, I am frustrated. Corporate America is bad. Everything is bad. The economy is bad. The government is not doing all of that. And you are shifting all of the blames to every other person. But you forgot that there's something that is actually within your control. What is the one within your control? Your expenses. You can control that, to keep it to the basic needs for a little bit and delay the gratification. So build margin. Your expense here, okay? Your income here, your expense here. The difference here is what is going to get you to that millionaire status, by controlling your expenses, building margin, right? The third one, the next thing is that Now, these, a lot of times, some people do so well with this margin, right? They do so well. But guess what? If they put it towards savings. So for me to get to the millionaire status, starting from zero, I will not just be putting my money in the bank, okay? Not the wealthy never put their money in the bank. They only put what? They only put their emergency funds in the bank. That's all that stays there. Emergency funds, that's for 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months. That's all that is in the bank. The remaining, they use it towards what actually builds wealth. Okay? They grow it. It's not sitting somewhere generating 3 to 5%. Okay? They're not doing that, or they're not putting it in the bank generating 0.01% or being useless in the bank. They don't do that. They take the money to buy appreciating cash flowing asset. Appreciating cash flowing asset. Okay, so that's the next thing. And then guess what? You repeat the process. So if I have to start all over again in 2026 from zero, wow, I've never learned this much before. Thank you. Also, Skippy D, unfortunately, nobody taught us that in school. Awesome. I'm glad that you are confirming that. And for TikTok community, we have the YouTube on the other side. So that's why you probably hear some comments that I'm talking about. And YouTube as well. If you hear me say, tap out the live. So guys, tap out. Can you kindly tap out the live? Let's share the live. Stephanie, the P5, Chim Celebrity, Olum Omba, Niam, how are you all doing today? So let us tap out the light. We're talking about starting from zero. Question: do you think college is necessary? I think I think it is. I think it is, but the only thing is that make sure. So the question is, do you think college is necessary? I think it is. I mean, obviously, because I'm a doctor, so you can know that I am. I'm going to swing side on this one. I'm a doctor of business and technology. So even when people say that, do you really need the college? However, one thing I can say is that, do you need an expensive college? That's the question, right? I always say that when you go to school, it's not necessarily about the further maths or it's not about the further maths, or it's not about the algebra that you learned, or no, it's not about that. It's about, there's some soft skills that you get, some discipline that you get, okay, that out of that college, that would help you to wake up, to start going to work every day, and still be able to listen to your employer while you are getting that money, okay, to build your wealth, buy asset. Remember, it starts with that income to buy asset. Now, it doesn't have to be, regular college. I mean, I have fantastic friends that are HVAC technicians that are making a killing, right? It doesn't, you can decide to go, but just learn a skill, learn a trade, learn something, right? Learn something. And whenever you are going to college, I always, James Celebrity, thank you so much for the follow, and every other person subscribing on YouTube as well. So when I say this, in terms of college in itself, the thing about it, always think about the return on investment. So I hear, or maybe you would have heard Dave Ramsey, when somebody would say, oh, me and my husband, we have a college loan of $270,000. And he was like, oh, that's amazing. Who is the surgeon? And one person, and they will say, oh no, one person is a general, what's the common one? Is a general secretary or something, and the other one is a policy. Not that I downplay any profession. However, why do you need to get a loan or go to Harvard, or Harvard Business School, if you don't need it? Right? Or if you are not taking, specific, like you are not becoming a brain a brain surgeon or something. You don't have to. You don't have to go and take a loan. So for every college that you need to go for, think about return on investment. So for instance, if you are paying $100,000 on a college, make sure that job better be giving you at least $100,000 every single year, or $200,000 every single year. So because you are stressing yourself on the school education wise, and you are also losing money, we are putting so much. You can put that money towards investment, right? But you decide to say you're going to school, but then you go and spend 300,000, or you spend 100,000 on the school, and then you are coming back out of school and you're earning 50,000. That's not return on investment. That doesn't make sense. So whatever thing that you're doing, also thinking that I'm a college professor as well. I lecture AI cybersecurity, and this is exactly what I tell the kids, and I teach deep learning on the side. So I tell them, if you know that whatever thing that you're doing, make sure that it is go to something. If you can go to community college to learn this, okay, most employers pay for the skill. They are not paying for the certificate. They don't pay for that. They're not paying for that degree that you're talking about. They pay for the skill. So if you learn that skill and you're able to do it well, of course they will pay you higher than whoever goes to one school or whatever, maybe you went to well, I don't want to say Yale and all those Harvard, because also those ones, they do it more of networking, right? It's because of networking that they actually do it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So great. So number two, on the other hand, is, like I said, for you to, the first thing is that stop chasing fast money. Stop chasing fast money. Increase your income, control your expense, build margin, okay? Buy assets, create cash flow, and repeat the process, okay? Number two, the first goal is not 1 million, okay? Understand that you're going to start small, right? Start small. You're not going to, of course, you're not going to make that 1 million today. So if I have to start from zero, I'm starting from zero right now, and I'm not going to become a millionaire to this year. It's not possible. It's a process. There's a reason why when a child comes to life, there's a time to crawl, there's a time to walk, and there's a time to run. Imagine a child comes to this world and it starts to run. What happens? It's just impossible, right? And if that happens, that child is going to fail for sure. So think about it that way. So first of all, don't think about different milestones. So is it 1,000? Number one, you have a $1,000, right? $1,000 is your first goal. So maybe right now you have not started investing at all. You've never you've never saved anything, or you're not saving right now. First of all, how much can you save from today? Just go and have an account and say, from today, you know what, I can save $100. $100, that is $3 a day, $3.33 a day or something thereabout. That's it. Start from there. Start putting it aside. If you need to have a little piggy bank to be dropping it, or just set it, automate it. Every single month, I'm going to put $200. Or you say, okay, $1,000 is what I'm going to save. $1,000, that is how much in a week? In every week, it means $250. $250, every month, that is $10,000, $12,000 a year. So because when you break it down like that, it's easier for you to start the journey, right? Start with your $1,000 save. It's going to motivate you to get to the next step. 10,000, you know that, okay, you save 1,000 this month, right? Till December. By December, if you put 1,000 this month on up to December of 2026, that is $10,000. If you save $2,000, it means that you already have how much? $24,000 by the end of the year. And if you are here and you are 20 years old, that's all that it takes you to have. If you do it from age 20 to age 30 and you put it in an S&P 500, trust me, you have over $4 million. Even if you don't put anything after the age of 30. You just put 22,500 to age 30, from 20 to age 30, and you leave it in an S&P 500, you have over $4 million. So those are strategies, right? I mean, of course, by retirement, that's what it means, just so I put time, because that's the power of compounding. So have 1,000 saved, $10,000 invested, 50,000 net worth. Get your first asset, have your passive income stream. That's how it works. Because people who obsess over millions but ignore the first milestone, you would quit, right? You would definitely quit if you're just looking at the 1 million and you're just saying, I want to become a millionaire, I want to become a millionaire. You just keep thinking about it and you don't take action. It never happens. You just be there. But it's just in the little things. Start where you are at. Open your brokerage account. Have your savings account. Have all of the steps that I've always talked about. Have your emergency fund. Start saving reduce your lifestyle, all those expenses. Stop all those, unnecessary purchases. If you just switch and just say there is purpose. I repurpose a lot. I go on my account and I look at it. What's this subscription that is here? I don't need it anymore. I used to listen to ebooks, right? Audibles. I had audibles. I stopped it. I used the money towards something. Hey, KJM, how are you? Hopefully, we can have you up tonight. Mr. KJM is the one retiring in a year. He's retiring in a year and he's making, he has followed this process, basically. Followed this and succeeded with his timing. Welcome. And thank you all for tapping out the life. I don't know what's happening. I know we are all locked in to become a millionaire. But please, let's tap out the life because it just helps some other people to come here. We get on the FYP, Stephanie, the P5K Jam, Chim Celebrity, Baba, Olo. Oh, that's a rich man. Olu, Omba, Priscilla, Tammy. Les, thank you so much for all being here and thank you for reposting. Thank you, Tammy, for reposting. Thank you all for sharing the live and tapping it out tonight. That would be amazing if you can tap it out to, if you can get to 10,000 tonight in terms of taps, that would be great. And if you are wondering on YouTube, that's because we have the TikTok community on the other side. Awesome. Because, then the number 3. So number 1 is what? Number 1 is stop chasing fast money. If I have to start, you want to start from zero, or you are, did you check out all in one? Yes, I am checking it out. It takes me a process. Yes, I am. But thank you so much. And I know that we talked about the AI stuff as well, but yes, we definitely need to connect on that. So the first goal, then think about, have a goal for yourself, right? The first is what? Stop chasing fast money. Number 2 is what? Have a goal for yourself, not a million, but just start wherever you are. Set up a goal. So classes in session 2, you should be taking notes right now. Number 3 is what? Build income first, right? Build income first. If you are starting from zero, income is your first investment. Be it so you have gone to school, you have done a good job, or you have learned a trade, you have learned a skill, you became an HVAC technician or electrician or whatever. Now that is your first investment in yourself, right? Now it's going to be generating income for you. Here, like I said, we are building $1 million community, right? $1 million. And as a matter of fact, that's what I've been doing, some consults, because I mentioned that we're going to be doing I'm doing the free real estate training. So they're building it out right now just so we can have everyone, get that training. So of course it has to be with standard and all of that, since it's going to be outside of all the different platforms. So that's what I have been working on as well. So that's coming really, really soon, really, really soon. So if you haven't subscribed and followed, consider doing that. So if you are starting with zero, right? Income is your first investment. Your primary job, right? Whatever job that you're doing right now, okay, you're a doctor, you are a lawyer, you are whatever you're doing, a nurse, a technician, anything you're doing right now, right? Is your primary income. That's where it all starts, right? The second thing is that you're taking some of those income. I always say that for the purpose of this community, right? This community that we are building, I said, which we're setting up a goal, right? The goal is that we start with a good income, right? Our income scale is one of the things, because that's how I started, and I'm just sharing my blueprints with everyone, right? Because we are doing it, we want to do it in 10 years. We're trying to get to that millionaire status in 10 years, right? If you want to do it in 30 years, it's okay. You can just, do it with whichever income. But if you want to do it with the 10 years, it requires you to have at least a 6-figure salary. Ideally, right? Have your, after tax, at least $100,000. And by the time we start following the step, you understand why this is very, 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 very important. That's why I don't lie. I will not tell you that this is not a get rich quick scheme. It has steps. It's a blueprint that I have used and I have followed, and it's working for me, or it's worked for me, and I'm just sharing. So I can't tell you if I started with a low income, maybe it would have been a different result, or because I started with a 6-figure salary. And it's okay if you don't have a 6-figure salary, but just start. That's your goal, right? Everybody has a goal. Let your goal be 6-figure salary, even if it's not for this whatever. It's going to also make your life better, right? And how do you achieve this? Two things that I talk about is number one, you can get your skill set, improve skill set. Not that you go back to college or take another college degree. No, just simply take certain certification or go take certain training. Go on Coursera, go on Harvard Business School. They are free trainings or less than 1,000. Even me, that's how I increased my income by $30,000 13 years ago, right? That's how I increased my income because I moved from corporate finance. My background, right? My bachelor's, I'm an economist as a bachelor's, but I am also a chartered accountant, and that's how I switched from corporate finance, working in a multinational S&P, a top 500 companies, right? Procter and Gamble, worked there, and then that's how I moved from the corporate finance to technology, right? I moved to technology because I realized that my colleagues doing lesser than I was doing, they were making at least $30,000 more than me. And I simply took a certification that cost less than $500. And in 6 months, no, in 4 months, I was able to increase my income by $30,000, right? So I'm just telling you exactly what I did, right? So your income, so that's one way. And there's so many free trainings out there that you can take right now, right? So the other way is that you supplement your income, right? The other way is how do you supplement your income? Think of, okay, maybe your pay right now is at 70,000, so you are missing maybe like a 40,000, right, gap. That gap, how do you fund it? That gap, you can simply just do you can take some other things. You can do rental arbitrage, where you rent maybe a room from an apartment or whatever, and then you use it towards a short-term rental. But of course, you're going to use Eddie and A to make sure that it's a good business. You can rent your car on Toro. You can simply also do spend your time on you can drive Uber. You can do some other things, any other thing to just get that extra 30,000. Jennifer, hey, please show us the website for the certification and skill. Yeah, go Coursera. So Coursera. So that's one. Another is Harvard Business School. Just go there and you would see some of those, and some trainings are just even there on YouTube. There's so many things, like, okay, you could also be editing videos for people. You can be a social media handler. All of those things are even free on YouTube channel, right? If you have, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, there's no reason why you're not doing that. Money Talk with Dr. Lina, okay? Right. So Google Coursera, right? Like Harvard Business School, they all have free training. You'll be so amazed, and if you also go on my page, or I think across board, you would also see I've done a post where I have all of the different certifications right there. The free training, or where you pay little to nothing to get all the certifications, right? But the ultimate goal is not like you're going back to college or to anywhere to go and take another college degree. No, because that's going to set you back to minus. Remember, this is even starting from zero. So if you go back to college and you go and take another college degree, that's going to set you back 10 steps behind. But free or $1,000, that's not still bad. Investing in yourself so that you can increase your income. AI, you see all those AI training, all of those things free. You can find it on Harvard Business School, right? So that's how you have a side income. We talked about that. That's how you supplement. Or you can, just think about how you can actually negotiate with your employer, or you can simply change jobs. I know that the job market is very crazy right now. However, there's no reason why you'll be on a job for 5 years and you don't prepare a resume and just see what are you even worth out there. Are they even cheating you? I tell you, and I'll tell you a real life story. People that stay on one job for more than 5 years, you know that you are being cheated, right? You know that your colleagues that move jobs every 2 years, or would earn at least 10% more, to 10 to 20% more of your income, more than your income. So think about it this way: under your job right now, the highest your employer will give you maybe 2%, 3% pay raise. That's even you are exceeding expectation. exceeding expectation, right? I'll put in the comments if you're any more than that. But most of the time, it's between 1 to 3%, right? With the person exceeding expectation at 3, met expectation or below expectation that they put on PIP, right? And that does not even get anything. But guess what? If you change your job, most of the time, oftentimes, I mean, if you are somebody like me, before I can move from one place to another, at least 10% pay raise at the minimum. And most of the time, it's even way more than that, 15, 20% of my income increase. So what happens is I have to move jobs like I'm crazy like that. I've moved jobs like, the only time I was on a job for so long was Procter, which was my first, where I spent 8 years. After that time, it's almost like 3 years, 4 years, and I'm out. It's not like I'm laid off or I'm fired. I am looking for the next thing. But even if you don't leave, right, go and check outside. Put your resume out there and just say, okay, what am I even what? Am I being am I getting what I'm what? Right? And you'll be surprised. You go there and you realize that you can actually, if you are doing well and they value you so much, I've actually increased my income that way. Where I said, you know what? I got an offer somewhere. No, I think for my own case, I got 2 offers, and I resumed in one organization in January, and I loved them. And I went back then I was interviewing with the other job, but one came before the other, right? In the same industry, there were competition. And I got the first one in January. I resumed in February. I got the offer in January, but I took 1 month. I resumed in March, right? But then the other one gave me an offer when I'd resumed in March in the other job. And then but of course, the other one was slightly higher than the initial one that I got. So but I told them, I said, you know what? I love this organization a lot. The devil that I know is better than the princess that is, all glossy that I do not know. So I was like, you know what? I can't. I'll stick it. And they said, what does it take for you to actually, move? And I said, okay, the first thing is that this job, I'm doing it remotely. They're not even based out of Texas. So that they said, okay, yeah, we grant it. And I said, okay, but then how about the pay? And they said that, okay, your highest level, that they increased my salary by actually 20,000 more than what the initial offer. And then I said, okay, and they said, okay, what else again? They said, okay, we will give you 30, how much was it? Is it 30%, like the highest band, like of the bonuses? And I got the highest bonus. You know what? Should I tell you? But I got my boss hated me for that, because when my initial boss left, the person that hired me, and they got somebody that was, like almost on the same level, but she's been there for she's been there for 10 years, and she suddenly became my boss. I was earning higher than her. So she got frustrated. So that just proves to you that somebody that's been there, because she's been there in that organization for 10 years, I was either earning the same thing as her, even though she's one level ahead of me. I was earning the same thing or earning more than her. And every other person that was on my level at level 22, every other person, I was at least I was like 30,000 higher than what they were earning. So those are like the things why you need to actually check yourself. I know this is on the side, but it is very important, because that is how you raise your earning power. So you can actually negotiate and, just get your offer and just like, okay, you know what, there's no harm in just trying, and just tell them, I got this offer. What do you think? Are you able to match it or not? The worst they can tell you is that we cannot match it by. Or guess what? You increase your income, you move to the next one, and that's how you increase your income. Guess what? If you do that every 3 years, you realize that your salary might be double of your people that had in that same job for so long. And that's how you also get promotion as well. Because if you stay in one place and you say, oh, you know what? I want to become I'll get that person that is above you is not ready to leave anyway. So how do you get promoted? That's how I was able to move from, from a senior to a manager, from manager to the post of, to, senior manager, and from there to a vice president. just because I was moving, from one place to the other. Of course, if you know that your mind, don't do it. But and just for people that are really ready, you're really ready to take it serious, just do that. That's just a tip for you. You cannot invest money you do not have. Okay, understand? You cannot invest money you do not have. Your first wealth strategy is increasing your cash flow, your income, your expense here. This is the cash flow that you get from your salary and your lifestyle. The difference here. Okay, that is it. So once you have built that, the other thing that I'm going to be doing is I will create a financial fortress. Okay, and because if you build before you build wealth, you need to build stability. Okay, build stability. Now that we have established that you have some savings, you already understand how to build your savings. You're going to have your emergency fund. You start. So if I'm starting from zero, I'll start with my number, no, the 1 month, 1 month emergency fund with the goal of 3 to 6 months, right? What is an emergency fund? Your expenses, your utilities, your housing, and your utilities, housing, and transportation, and of course your groceries, feeding, right? Feeding and clothing, right? Those are your basic needs. You have it for 1 month. Calculate it and just put it in your IU savings account. Check on the website or online the top best IU savings account, and you can put your money there. 3 to 5% is good. So far, it is FDIC insured. Emergency, you reduce on another thing that you need to do, reduce unnecessary spending. Okay, we already talked about it. Automate the bills. Automation is very key. Thank you all for tapping out the live. Let's tap the live. Let's share the live. Let's keep tapping. I know we are all locked in. Let's tap out the live. Jennifer, Stephanie, Baba Olowo, the P5, Olu, Angel. Let's tap out the live. Thank you all for tapping out the live. I know we are all locked in. It's always like that. So I totally understand, but let's tap out the live because it just also tapping means just tap the screen like this. It's just free. It costs you nothing. It costs you really nothing except your finger that is just doing the work as we are all locked in. All right, if you can tap it to 1,000 as we are, even to 10,000, that would just be amazing, and you are still locked in. Awesome. Reduce unnecessary spending. Automate it. How do you automate? So remember, I was saying that, okay, let's say you want to save 10,000 and you are putting 1,000 every month, right? 1,000 or 500 or $100 every single month. It's not like you'll be taking that money in from your account. If you do it that way, chances are that something comes up today. Maybe there's somebody that has party and they need to buy. For some people that like parties, right? Then you realize that you take money out of there. But guess what? If that money is already deducted, Choco Babe, thank you so much for the follow, and thank you all for subscribing. If you take some of those money and it's already removed as your salary is landing, it's already deducted into an account, or you even set an ACH to say that this money should be from your employer straight into this account. What you realize is that chances are that the airtime can wait, is very high, right? But if it's in your bank account, you realize that you would spend it. So pay yourself first. That's what it means. You are paying yourself first because that is the one that it is for your future. You will not trade your future, right, for one airtime or one irrelevant thing that is not important, right? You would just use it for your future. So automate it, just like your taxes. Now everybody already knows that you don't even know how much you're earning because they have deducted tax, they have deducted insurance, health insurance, they deducted everything before it gets to you. So you are living within what is left, right? You did not calculate that, okay, with this tax, you did not budget on that. Your budget is after tax. That's the same way. Your budget should be after tax and after all those, what's it called? All of your paying yourself first. Then that is when you can now say that this is what is left, right? Then also automate your bills, right? Your 4 walls, right? Your utilities, your rent or mortgage, your groceries, and of course your transportation or car note or anything that one is. automate it, let it just go, so that you don't forget anything, and then you are getting fees or whatever. That also gives you it boosts your, it gives you financial peace, and it also helps you to eliminate chaos. Any form of it just helps you, because you take care of all of who feels that way, like you're taking care of everything, then you feel, okay, at least this month I can go by. That's the way it feels. You have paid your rent, you have paid you would realize that you have some other piece. So protect any form of downsides. Take care of that first. And then, it just feels like me by January, if I have to pay all of those taxes or the properties, it's always like overwhelming. And until that is done, then I kind say that, okay, this is what I have left. This is where we are at in terms of the books and all of that. But until that, and like, before you pay HOA, before you pay property, it's a lot for me in January. It's almost like a chaos. But if you automate it, which is part of the things I'm doing, just using it as your bill, automate it, you realize, okay, this is what I have left. And then you can figure out that, okay, you know what? Automation, including even you pay yourself first, right? Automate all of the bills. So pay yourself is also part of the bills. You are paying it into one account, that it is you for yourself. Okay, awesome. A shaky foundation destroys wealth before it starts. Okay, right? If the foundation is bad, right, what can the righteous do, right? It's even there, right? Starting from zero in 2026, a journey to a million. So you have to have your financial fortress. Your foundation needs to be solid. Then you can now build on top of it. Okay. Now, having understood all of this, you have your emergency fund, you have automated your bills, you understand that you are saving money, you are not just allowing lifestyle creep or lifestyle inflation to take over. Now you are now ready to do what you need. You are now ready to start buying. You are now ready to start doing building of the wealth. This is the only, all of those are foundation, right? But this is where the wealth is actually built. Making sure that you are buying asset early. Start at any point. Cash flowing cash flowing appreciating asset, right? Not depreciating lifestyle liability. Cash flowing appreciating asset. That's where you start putting your money, and you start with little things. Start it small. Start with ETF. ETFs are baskets of stock. You own a part of a company, but instead of you saying that you are buying and you are picking and you choose, because that's one of the big questions I always say, okay, I want to invest, but I don't know which stock I should buy. No, you don't. You don't need to think about it. It's already done for you. S&P 500, all top 500 companies in America. So you like Amazon, you like Google, you like Nvidia, you like Meta, you like all of these top companies. Everything in one basket. You are buying the S&P 500, just like a VO, IVV, SPY. You buy it, call it a day, as you're automating it, automate that as well. Every single month, automate your money. It goes into the investment account, Vanguard, Fidelity, or Schwab, World Simple in Canada, Trading 212 in the UK, Bamboo in Nigeria, or Stanbic IBTC and all of that. So any of those, just open, or Robinhood in the United States as well. Or open any of those accounts, and then you have the money go into that steadily every single month, like a clockwork. And then in the accounts as well, you are making sure that you set it. Automation helps you to buy S&P 500. Or you can decide to say, you know what, I'm going to buy ETF for the entire US market, right? Everything on the US market, US stock exchange, you are buying that. That's the other thing that you can actually, excuse me, entire US stock exchange. That's the other one that you can entirely buy. Or you can say that the US market is, what if something happens in the US market? You can do international, buy everything. So edge against, spread your risk and say, okay, one is the entire US market, the other is the entire international, right? Global, right? You don't want to touch. So at the end of the whole thing, if the US market goes down, you have the global market that is still lifting your portfolio. So that's how you spread your risk. And thank you so much for all of the like, and thank you all for tapping on the like. Thank you for sharing. the life to others as well. So that's how you spread it. So stop picking and choosing, because if you buy one, think about it, with an S&P 500 that's returned 8 to 12% in the past 10, 20, 30 years, returned 18% last year, and it's almost like, so that's just an easy way for you to actually start investing, especially for a beginner. Like, you're just starting and you're starting from zero. Either you are trying to scale, or you are just a beginner, you don't even know, or you are just transitioning, or you have made mistake in the past and you're just rebuilding all over again. Just start it simple, okay? Keep it simple. Also, make sure that you are funding your retirement account. Retirement account is, and it's for your future, right? Retirement account, the brokerage account, like it's the one where you put your ATF, is for your today, building your wealth gradually, right? That's going to get you to a million. But you also want to take care of your future. So if your employer is matching your 401k, let's say they are matching up to 3%, 2%, whatever they are matching, take it. It's free money. Put it there for your future. If you are waiting on social security for your retirement, it might not be there, unfortunately. And you are thinking that your children, they are going to be your retirement, but unfortunately, you don't know. Your children at that point, they too will have your bills, because you too have your bills right now. So think about it. Have your own plan, so that by that time, you are not thinking that, oh, you know what, you'll now be regretting. Now is the time for you to do it, okay? Before you start saying, oh, and Dr. Lina told you that, well, how come I did not do it? You still have the chance. You can start doing it. Even if you are 50, just start. Okay? Just start. Don't say it's too late. Yeah, I wish somebody told me. I wish. That's the other thing. Stop wishing and just start it. You can open all of this account, and IE savings account, brokerage account. You can open it right now as we speak, and you are good. Or get to your employer on Monday and get your 401k. The other one that you want to also for retirement is Roth IRA. If you qualify for it, you can put up to 7,500 in there every single year. What does this mean? That's about $623 every single month that you can put. If you get your money every 2 weeks, that's about $313 or $311 every single paycheck, which you put away. What does this help you to do? It grows tax free. So because it's already taxed from the source, or like your 401k, it's already taxed, pre-tax. So by the time you put it in there, let's assume you put like 100,000 and you put it in, and let's happy 500, it grows up to $1 million. You get $1 million, less of no dollar, right? You're not paying any taxes on it, right? No capital gain. But your 401k, you're going to pay capital tax or capital gain taxes on it. On your brokerage account, you pay capital gain taxes on it. So it is Roth IRA is a fantastic wealth building tool. Okay, and if your income is really great, and of course we are high income earners, that's our goal right here as a $1 million league, right? The goal, if you are, what you can also do is, if you don't qualify, you can do backdoor Roth IRA. That's the other option, right? Everything is still with you. You're not violating anything. You can do backdoor IRA. The other thing that you can do is real estate saving funds, or the proper real estate, like the real estate ETF is another ETF that you can do. So you're just starting. You're just basically starting. So you can just, as a beginner investor, it helps you spread your portfolio, because now you're going to invest in real estate, even with your $1, $10, $5, $100, 10,000, 100, whichever amount, you can still buy it. It's going to be growing while you are not focused. You're not buying anything. You're not buying traditional building. You're not like me, right? That yeah. So that's the other way. Just start with those. That's the other. So if I'm starting, or that's how I started, because I did not jump the step. I was also investing actively. So S&P 500, Nasdaq 100 is another one in terms of ETF. Then dividends, right? Dividends ETF is another one. So like a QQQ, like an SCHD, it's those ones. And then you can Maya, just this case, how are you? And then the last one, is the REITs that I also talked about for real estate. So this helps you Okay, this helps you to spread your risk across board. What it just helps you to, it helps you spread your risk. That's what it just helps you to do, right? So I just want to say the habit of buying asset matters before the amount gets big. Okay, so you do, like I said, you can start with $1. The other day, was it 3 days last week, I showed you how you can buy on Robinhood. I went to my Robinhood and we just bought $1 worth of VOO, just to prove that it's not about, some people would say, oh, I need so much to invest. No, you don't. We bought, literally, I showed, went into my app and I bought $1 of VOO, which is S&P 500 with Vanguard, right? SPY is the one for State Street, right? Yeah, and IVV, I think that's the one for what's it called, BlackRock or something. All right, so basically that's the way it actually works. That's the way it actually works. So you're making sure that you just start small, invest early, don't wait. Remember, it's about timing the market, not about timing the market. It's not like, okay, when is the market going down, that's when I want to. The time that you spend in the market, maybe you would have heard compound interest. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Okay, I always say it. The rule of 72 says that if the money that you invest today, in 7 years it doubles its value. So if you are waiting till next year to invest, it means that your money is going to be doubling in year 8. It's not going to be in 7 years again, because you are starting next year. But guess what? If you started this year, it means that in 7 years, so this is 2026, it means that by 2033 your money will double its value, or even quicker if you put it in, if you basically put it in an S&P 500. So if you even put it in a NASDAQ 100, like a QQQ, it would even be faster, right? That's basically what it means. So that's the rule of 72. I did not create it. You can go and Google it and search it yourself. But that is what it does. That's compound interest. So think about it. If you put $100,000, it means that by year 7, right? Year 7, it means your 100,000 is going to be 200,000. So you're wondering, hey, Pi 212, thank you so much for the daily at me, right? Welcome here. We're talking about starting from $0 in 2026 to a journey to a millionaire. Remember, we are building $1 million league, right? Not a millionaire or another currency, $1 million, not Canadian dollar league. That's what we are building here. So starting from 0, if you're starting right now, that's what we are basically doing. So great. So Pump House, welcome as well, and thank you so much for all of the likes. So basically, what was I saying? So think about it. If you put 100,000, let's assume that you start saving 10,000, or 10,000, or that's like $1,000, or less than like $750 every single month, right? Every single month, that's $10,000, and that you save it for like 10 years. Let's say that is 100,000. You have 100,000. So guess what? In 7 years, it would be, your money will double its value. It means it becomes, you are not putting anything after that. Okay, your money becomes what? In 7 years it becomes 200,000. In 14 years it becomes how much? 400,000. So remember, 200 times 2, now it becomes 400,000. In 21 years it becomes how much? In 21 years it becomes 800,000, and in 28 years it becomes how much? 1.6 million. And you're wondering, how come I never knew this? That is how millionaire is made. So like I said, it's not so crazy. It's just that a lot of time everybody wants get rich quick scheme. I want the money now. I want it. Everybody wants to be on the fast lane. But guess what? That's why I started with what we started first. Stop chasing fast money, right? Stop chasing good. I'm ready to make my absolutely stop chasing fast money. It's like a structure. Either you decide to grow old or not grow old. The thing about, or you decide to say, okay, I want to stay young forever. It's impossible. You will keep going every single year. That's just the same way. So it does. If you look at your money that way and you put it that way, you realize that you will get to that million, and you will even become a multi-millionaire. Right? You become a multi-million. Just the same way I just explained it right now. If you want it quicker, just make it. You want to become a millionaire quicker, make it 200,000. 200,000. Year 7 becomes 400,000. Year 14, it becomes 800,000. And year 21, it becomes 1.6 million. That is 7 years down, right? You want it more than that, just do it. So that's just the same way. That's where the high income helps, right? If you have more income, right, that is the only time it helps. That's why I always say it's not even really the income helps, but it's about how much you keep, right? It's about how much you keep. That is how much you keep and invest. That's how you can actually build wealth. Because if you have more to keep and you told you to, it just helps you scale faster in terms of the years versus somebody that is starting slow. And that's why I was saying the 6-figure salary, it's part of the requirement. If you're saying we're doing it in 10 years, if you want to do it in 20 years, of course, by all means, you can do your 70,000 salary. You don't want rush, you still have time on your ends. Absolutely, but I just told you, I'm just telling you the exact blueprint that I use. Okay. So let the habit of buying asset matter before amount gets big. Okay. So whichever, just start wherever you are. So the real estate had the other part of it is that I always talk, I always say that in terms of children, children will walk, right? And the children, when you give birth to a child, it's time for the child to crawl, then he walks, then he starts to run. If you want this journey to be faster, which is part of what we're going to be using as the $1 Million League, right? It's real estate is going to be a part of it. Okay. I am very heavy in real estate, and this is I'm just sharing my exact blueprint if I have to start all over again and whatever I use. So real estate was heavily part of it. I am not a realtor, I'm a real estate investor. I own and manage double-digit real estate portfolio, okay? So understand the fact of the manage, right? Manage, okay? So I know the beginning and the end, the crazy, I've seen the good, bad, and the ugly. Everything is what I've seen, okay? So the real estate can help accelerate wealth, okay? Because guess what? With the ETFs that we talked about, you can get one or two, right? One or two ways of increasing your money, which is can double your money in 7 years, right? Through cash flow, like the money is growing is growing, right? The stock market is growing, is returning 18%, 12%, 8%, right? When you sell it, that's it, right? That is it. Then you buy it again. Or you can also get dividends income, like an SCHD, you can also get dividends, without selling it, just owning that company, owning a part of the stock, like a Procter and Gamble, Johnson and Johnson, you are going to be getting dividends every single month, right? But real estate pays you in 4 different ways. It pays you through cash flow. So let's assume you buy a property, you're using the bank's money, then you use the tenant's money, okay, to pay the bank. The difference between the two, okay, tenant pays you 2,000, mortgage is 1,500. The difference $500, that is cash flow. That is one way that real estate pays you. So you get some form of cash, just like the dividends, you are getting some form of cash flow. The second way is equity that Mr. Keja was asking me that have I checked the all equity. So basically, equity simply means that every single time that you pay the bank, you part of the money from the tenant that you pay the bank, the 1,500, that 1,500 reduces your loan in the bank and increases your ownership in that increases your own ownership in that particular property. So let's say you owe 150,000 every single time, you are paying 1,500 every single time, right? Every single month that you pay it, you are reducing how much you owe. So it means that you are gaining equity in that particular property. And you're wondering, okay, but it's just numbers. It's not just numbers. You can actually take it out. You can take cash out refinance, I think up to 75%, depending on the mortgage frame, or 80% at times, that you can actually take in that property, right? And say that you can use it towards funding kids' education, which is the way how I got into real estate, by the way. Or you can use it towards another funding, another property. That's the BRR strategy that people, maybe you would have heard that. That's the other way. Equity is the second way that real estate pays you. The third way that pays you is the biggest, right? I call it the appreciation, just like the rule of 72. With real estate, property doubles its value every single 10 years, every 10 years, okay? Well, guess what? It's still paying you through other ways. So that's why it is actually faster when it comes to when you are trying to compare ETF and you compare real estate, right? Because you still have these other ways, but then the third way is the appreciation. It doubles its value every single 10 years. Okay, the property that we bought in 2017, it's not even 10 years. It's already doubled this value. So, but you need to make sure that you buy it right. So get education, buy it right. I'll be doing free training. It's coming, free training, and just so I can help as many people to learn how to buy real estate, and it's going to be free, but I'm going to do it one time. After that, I might not do the training, or even if I have training, I would monetize it, okay? Because people are trying to just value things that they pay for, right? I literally just got somebody to help me try to do consult. I did a consult just to even build how to this training, and I'm paying, right? When I started real estate as well, I went to trainings and I paid thousands of dollars, because really it's really big whenever it's real estate is one of the biggest in in terms of cash of investment that you can, or loan that you can actually ever get, right? Your car will be maybe 50,000, 100,000, max 150,000 or 200,000 if you're driving a G-Wagon or whatever. But anything outside of that, real estate is way, way, way expensive. So you want to get as much education as possible. Thank you all for tapping out the live. Thank you for sharing the live, and thank you for following and subscribing if you haven't. So we have two communities here. In case you're hearing me say follow, you're hearing me say subscribe. You have YouTube and we have the TikTok. So let's keep tapping out the live and let us subscribe if you haven't. So you want to subscribe and follow so you don't miss out on that one-time free training. Like I said, it's going to be outside of the platform, all of it, because I'm bringing all of everyone from my different platform together in one place, and we are going to, it's going to be maybe 2-3 days thereabouts, just so it's going to be information overload for one day. Trust me, it's going to, when you're out of that class, the goal is that you should be able to understand, analyze deals. You should be able to understand how to build wealth. I mean, how to analyze deals. How you should be ready to buy your real estate within the next 3 to 4 months, depending on your credit, your down payments, and of course the level of education, because that is going to seek the education. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you're on TikTok, please go ahead and subscribe, because all of this, there's a video that I have there on YouTube that already talks about how you can buy your real estate in 4 months, right? You have question about what is SCHD, QQQ, which is better on S&P 500. You have it right there. So go there. It's Money Talk with Dr. Lina. You should subscribe. I'll be releasing another video tomorrow. I try to reduce long form videos every Sunday, just so you can watch it. So I think tomorrow is going to be at 9. So you go ahead and watch it. I tell you, it's going to be very, very beneficial to you, because all these things that I'm saying, you can actually sit, take a pen, and take all notes, because I have that level of details, and typically it's between 5 to 10 minutes. So they're kind of long form, and you can take your own time to watch and take notes, at least know all of those terms like ARV, 1% rule, equity, all those things that I'm talking about. So appreciation is the third way. So first is, of course, cash flow, equity, appreciation. Then the last one is tax benefit, right? Tax benefit is the one that's mind blowing, especially for like this community. We build $1 million, right? With a 6-figure income that I'm talking about, and it's basically you realize that you fall, if you're not even there right now, you realize that it's almost like, beating you or punishing you for earning good income or working hard and making good income. Because your tax, actually, you move tax bracket as your income goes up. But that's not enough reason to say that, I don't want income, or I want to remain on this level and not earn 200,000 or earn 150,000 because the taxes are high. I rather take the increments rather than the taxes, right? Rather than say, oh, I'm on this level because I don't want to take that. That's like penny wise pounds foolish, right? But however, there's a way that I get to, or the multimillionaires or the wealthy get to edge against that. So like like that, like Elon Musk will not, he will not buy, he will not use his money to finance it. When he wanted to buy, which one did, is it X or which one did they buy? Twitter. And when they said that liquidate your stocks, he said he doesn't have money to buy it, but he can rather he would use leverage to buy it. Okay, but then he will not use what is now the collateral. He will use his ownership within Tesla or within his or SpaceX to fund it. That's just the same way, right? In tax, as a matter of fact, if you, let's assume your tax is really high right now, you fall within tax bracket, and you're supposed to pay Uncle Sam by April 15th. Just a reminder: if you have not filed your taxes like me, think about start working towards filing those taxes. Okay, deadline is around the corner. Now, if you those taxes, if you have bought a property or you are buying a property right now, okay, that's the plan. You realize that whatever losses that you made, and I'll tell you some of the expenses that you incurred on that property, you can charge it against your W-2 taxes. What does this mean? Let's assume that your tax, because you earn high income, you're supposed to pay let's say 10,000, just numbers, right? But then on the real estate side, because you pay property tax, you paid insurance, you paid interest, you paid HVAC got damaged, like $10,000. But at the same time, the house also got vacant, right? Those are losses that you made on this property. Wrap everything up and put it towards this one, right? Because you have lost $8,000 here as a result of all these activities, or you have paid all those expenses. Wrap it up to this here. You only owe Uncle Sam how much? $2,000. That's how much you pay out of pocket. So those are the benefits of, that's how wealth is built, right? That's how part of the ways I'm going to be joining to the millionaire status, to that 1 million. Because guess what? That 10,000 I would have given Uncle Sam, right? Giving IRS that 10,000 towards my next deal, towards the next down payment for the property that I'm buying, towards the next ETF, because now I can simply put that $10,000. Imagine if I'm doing that every single year. $10,000 every single year. That is 100,000 that I need to become 1.6 million, to become compound interest at S&P 500, to become 1.6 million in 10 years. Yeah, that 10,000 in 10 years, then by retirement, I get 1.6 million. That's it. That's just, but of course, 28 years is a long time. But guess what? How many years have you worked right now? I have worked almost 2 decades, almost 20 years, right? And I'm still looking very young, right? I have worked and I remember the day that I started as a young employee. So that's just the same way. You keep thinking, oh, it's a long time, 28. But guess what? The 28 years is already around the corner. So that's just so real estate that's the beauty of real estate, because you can also claim tax advantages. Remember I mentioned REIT earlier, right? ETF for REIT. You won't be able to claim all of this right there. You will not. Okay? If you buy the ETF for REIT, cannot claim it, except that, okay, maybe ETF goes down, then 3,000 every 6 years. Let's assume that you made a loss of 30,000. You can claim it for another 30 years. That's all you can do. But that's about it. 3,000, the max, 3,000 every year. But in real estate, there's no limit, right? I don't know. I'm not saying there's no limit, but I know that I've claimed 30,000 but in a year, basically. So I'm not a tax consultant, because I have a tax consultant that farm taxes, and he gets everything straight. Okay. Awesome, because I pay people to do that. So the other part of it is that, depreciation. If the property even though we talk about appreciation, right, we know property always appreciates, it doubles its value. But in the books, in accounting, the property, plants and machinery, land and building, all of those things, it's supposed to depreciate. It's in the balance sheet, right? How do I know? That's because I'm a chartered accountant, right? So it's so depreciation, you can do straight line balance and reducing line balance, reducing method, what's it called? My brain. Yeah. So you can use any of those methods, right? If you do straight line balance, let's say the property is 200, the value of the property is being depreciated by using straight line. And then you can say with the big beautiful bill, you can do accelerated depreciation. I think, I don't know what it is, but to a certain number of years, maybe let's assume 10 years. So it means that in 1 year you can claim 100,000 on that particular property as a loss towards depreciation, and you can use it against your W2. So so that is how wealth is built. Okay, aside some other things, if you buy 9,000 pound weight car and you use it towards your business, you can also file that against your taxes. So those are W2. That's how you reduce your taxable income to and you keep so much more in your pocket, and that's how you build wealth, and that's how you get to that journey of 1 million. So if you haven't subscribed, consider doing that. Consider following if you haven't done that. And we're wrapping up here. So the real formula to 1 million, right? It's earn more, save strategically, invest consistently. Okay, take your pen if you want to get your pen, right? Earn more. Number one, earn more. Two, save strategically, right? Invest consistently is three. Buy appreciating asset. That's number four. Protect your money. Okay, all right. The number five, six is stay in the game long enough, right? We have given ourselves, which is even accelerated, right? Accelerated 10 years, because this is called $1 million league, right? If you can be a part of it, join across all the platform. It's Money Talk with Dr. Lina. I'm building the community right now, working on it just so I can, because the goal is that we are going to, everyone that is there, we're going to be checking, we're going to be having check-ins, right? So it's not like I'm a doctor, so there's a structure. There has to be structure, there has to be guideline. If you want to be, there has to be discipline, because making money is discipline. It requires discipline, it requires structure, it requires intentionality. You have to be very intentional about it, right? If you're saying you want to do what people do people even work 40 years till age 65, they don't get to that millionaire status. Yeah, people don't, right? So if you say you want to do it, not just do it in 40 years, you're doing it in 10 years, then it requires structure. So we will be having homeworks. So if you want to be a part of it, go across all multiple platforms. Money Talk with Dr. Lina, right? Think and Grow Rich. You're going to be getting books. You're going to spend that time that we are spending, right? That time that we are spending on Netflix. You're going to give some of the time to me, and you're going to get some of this book. You're going to be reading it, even if it's chapter every single. We'll talk about it, right? That's part of the things that we're going to talk about. People will share their ideas, what's their perspective. Then we'll be having check-ins on your financial journey. So for instance, okay, you are not in the what's it called? You are not in you have not gotten your six-figure salary. Okay, we will talk about it. So what is your plan and what help do you need? Okay, so that's it's a league, it's a total league. That's the overall picture. It's not just, that's why I changed the name from MTDL, which is Money Talk with Dr. Lina, to $1 million lead, right? MDL, right? Basically, because it's all about you. Okay, so just be on the lookout for that. I just did consultancy on how we can build that community, because guess what, I've done it. So I'm not telling you why it is not doable, right? I am just telling you, just so we can. And what's in it for me? The thing about it, the more wealth we create, the more we reduce poverty. And when there's poverty, when poverty goes down, you realize that there is also the part of crime that goes down as well. Okay, and of course I know that it's not going, this is not going to be for everyone, but understand that if you want, you can change the status quo, right? That's what I always talk about. It's about your mindset. It's a mindset shift. You want to build wealth, mindset. Your mind says, oh, and I have so many friends and clients that I have, and they're doing it every day. And I know of the other 90% of self-made millionaires that are even doing it in a lesser period of time, especially when you now say that, okay, you now earn income. So for instance, you earn $200,000 a year. All you have to do is keep 50% of that income. That's all you need. If it's 100,000, 50%, of that. If you're 300,000, 150, it means that you even do your own in less number of years. In 5 years, in 7 years, you are a millionaire. But a lot of times, I tell you, reason why I'm saying this, I've had friends. Thank you all for subscribing if you haven't, and thank you for the follow. Thank you for tapping out the like. So the reason why you see them, even the bank is telling the person, the bank is telling the person, why are you having these loans? Because the bank can only up to $250,000, and they were telling the Bank of America to say that this 250,000. If you know that if something happens today and there's a loss, whatever happens on your account, do you know what that means? It simply means that you are not your 250,000 is not protected. And she even had way more than that. I don't want to put numbers to it. She does have way more than that, but only 250. So if you have 250,000 sitting in the bank, because you might be saying that who has $250,000? Well, I know people. You'll be amazed. And they are regular people. In short, these people don't wear the Gucci and they don't wear Versace and all those big names. They don't. They are just regular people. They don't buy all the MS and they will not even use their money to do that. But guess what? They have that money sitting there. And why did I bring this up? Because you can easily take, because they too were doing something wrong. They were putting it in the bank, generating 0 to 0.01% is all they were getting on that account, right? 0.01 is what they were getting on that account. Meanwhile, that particular person could have used that money, bought 3 properties, okay? That same money, but as a matter of fact, that's exactly what we did for her in her portfolio anyway. She ended up buying properties, right? That now gives her at least, bought one that is 300,000 cash. But so right now she gets a cash flow of about, like $6,000, not lifting her finger. And of course, she's still earning a 6-figure, she's still earning a million, not a million, whatever income that was getting, right? So if you're a medical doctor, you think you are making money and you're just sitting there, you are not doing well with it. By the way, if you know that you are on call, you are even trading your life more than every other person. You're on call, you are working morning shift, afternoon shift, or you are working, you're trading your life for money. Then you should treat that money, you should put it in right places and not spend it, unwisely. Okay. So always understand that. So invest. So the thing is, the formula again for the people that are just coming: earn more, save strategy out of the formula to 1 million. Earn more, okay. 2, save strategically. 3, invest consistently. 4, buy appreciating assets. 5, protect your income. Number 6 is to stay in the game long enough. And why would some people, even with all this discussion, why would some people not get there? The reason is, number 1 is lifestyle inflation. Hi, Vinny. Welcome. Thank you so much, Kibi. He said, wow, you have done a great job. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So number 1, why would people never get to this 1 million status, even though we are talked about it? Number 1 is lifestyle inflation. If you still want to allow lifestyle creep, you are still impressing people, you want to oppress other because your friend bought this, you want to buy, or you are simply continue to buy things on Amazon, you don't want to change anything about your expenses, you want to keep it as it is, then your chances of getting there are very, let me get my charger. Your chances of getting there is very low, my friend. So because I will tell you the truth, I will not deceive you. So you won't say that, oh, Dr. Lina told you that you can start from 0 to 1 million and it's not happening just because no. So it will not happen. So that will not happen. Number 2 is you don't have system, you don't have automation, you did not set it up, you are just spending, you don't give your money structure. It's just up and down, you won't get to there. If you don't have the discipline, right? The discipline, financial discipline is part of the things that I teach here. Financial discipline, or you don't get financial discipline, okay, is another thing. The other thing is not investing knowledge. So you don't go get books, you don't read, you don't listen to all of these things that we are talking about. That's the other thing. Financial literacy is very key, right? If you go and dabble, maybe you would have heard some of your friends say, oh, you know what, I failed in real estate, or the real estate, something happened to me. Real estate is a scam, is a lie. I'm telling you, that's because the person, 80% of the time, it's because they did not get the education, which led them to have bad tenants, okay? because they did not do screening. The other thing is that they bought it, they allowed FOMO, right? They were doing what's that thing? Bidding war, or they went to buy a condo, all those kind of things, or so they did not get the education. Financial literacy, if you don't get the education that you need, you realize that you will not, you cannot, you won't get to that million. It's not then quitting early. So you start it, you are not consistent, you are just, you just feel like, what, I want it now. Yeah, quitting early is another, or trying to look rich. This is the biggest part of it. Trying to look rich, you just want to impress other people. You won't get there, because your goal will be to try to look rich instead of actually being rich. Two different things. Oftentimes, we all focus on the outlook. Remember, if the lady that has the big gold, all right, and wears the, the Gucci, they are the ones that they would allow to sit in front and, carry in a very big car. Guess what? Next thing that is not wearing that gold, or not even that other person, you'll be so surprised, is worth $10 million, right? It's what, that's why, have you seen some multi-millionaires? You just see them in shorts, and because they're already wealthy, they don't have any reason to prove anything to anybody. Faking it until you make oh God, how are you? God, from California, if I remember, or Florida, one of those two. Trust me, I always interchange Florida with California. Yeah. So faking it, no. It's faking it until making, no. This is not for here. This is not for the millionaire league. It's okay. Because you are going to make it in 10 years. That's it. So there's no point faking it, because faking it is going to take away from that journey, because you are putting so much money on lifestyle creep. You are looking to impress others. But why just, you are already on the journey to making it. So just follow that journey. When you graduate, right? Jennifer Babolo, Stephanie, the P5, when you graduate, you have graduated, right? To a millionaire. Just focus on the price, right? Just simply focus on the price. Thank you all for the follow, and thank you all for, okay. And thank you for subscribing if you haven't done so. So Southern California in here, yes. Vinny, yeah, welcome. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, consider doing that. So basically, and just to close, and you can all leave your question. You can start asking your question right now, starting from a $0 in 2026, journey to $1 million, right? You do not need to start rich. Understand that. It's just a decent income, 6-figure salary, or you are working towards that 6-figure salary. You do not need to start rich to become wealthy, but you do need a plan. And that's the plan that I just shared, right? This plan, the journey to 1 million does not start with a miracle. So stop wishing. Don't stop thinking that it's going to happen. It's going to just happen. Well, maybe it happens for some people, but I have not been that fortunate. I mean, first of all, I don't even play jackpots. I don't play on those lottery. So I don't see any miracle. I work hard for my money, and I just invested, diligently in and followed the process. But know that it starts with your first decision to stop consuming everything you earn. Okay? Stop consuming everything that you earn, because you're earning, remember, income here, expense here. Income here, expense, and this gap is what is going to get you to that millionaire. Not this one. This expense is just trash. It goes away because you eat it, you pay the rent, it goes. It's liability, it's depreciating lifestyle, it's depreciating lifestyle liabilities. That's what this one is. This income, right? The difference between this is what is going to help you, that you put towards the asset, cash flowing, appreciating assets. That's what is going to get you there. Okay, so it starts with your decision to stop consuming everything you earn and start building cash flowing, appreciating asset. Okay, all right, so great. So commenting, put million if you want to build wealth system. Just put in the comment section. Put in the comment if you plan to be a part of the $1 million league, or you want to start the $1 million journey, or you think that this is possible. The million is possible. Put million in the comment. Put million. Just let me be sure that you follow, or if you do not agree that you can become You can use this step to become a millionaire. You can decide not to put any comment. Jennifer, Babolo, Stephanie, the P5, Mercy. And for people that have been here, we're talking about, oh, awesome. Vinny said million. Godward Zome said million. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. So we are already building the $1 million league. Stephanie said million. That's great. That is great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Baba Lowo, of course, you already, your name is in itself is, the rich man. Yeah, million. That's great. Who else? Who else is also commenting million? I want to know the people that we are, and you also want to, Jennifer said million. That is amazing, amazing, amazing. I mean, even if it's just 10 people in itself, that is, if we can build a community of, just imagine 10 of us becoming a millionaire, right? That is 10 million, right? With me, right? It's way more, right? 10 million. If that's what it is, that is already, a life changing. And I know we are going to achieve it. We're going to definitely achieve it, but you already have the blueprint right now. You can already start it right now. Number one, have your IU savings account if you haven't, right? That's number one. Two is, have your brokerage account, your 401k, get that going. Already start thinking of, you can, those are like steps. All those expenses, think about it twice. Think about it twice. Go into do a 60-day account system check. The P5 said millions. Awesome, awesome. She even said millions. That's multi-millionaire. Awesome. Yes, that's a way to go. Yes, because it starts with you. I always say it's the mindset, and there's always, there's always something in the nature, Mother Earth, God. Whatever you say, it comes to be. I tell you, whatever you say. One thing everybody that knows me from childhood, they will tell you that this girl has always said that she wants to be rich. Like my son would say, I want to be an entrepreneur. I would say, what do you want to preneur? Right? Yeah. So those are like the things. So it's in the positivity or your mindset. It starts with your mind. This is a whole minded, because I tell you, from tomorrow, start working like that in that your millions, and start, what you do, start whenever you want to spend, you want to see that, okay, you want to impress somebody because somebody, that purse or something. Think about it. Who am I impressing? I'm already walking to my journey of millionaire status. Let me just take that money and put it towards what is going to actually make me a millionaire. Right? Take that money instead of you trying to say, okay, I want to look the million. You say, I'm already on the journey. Just give me time. It's 10 years. I'll become that millionaire that we are talking about. So let me take this money and actually put it towards that millionaire status. So change that mindset. Mindset is, like I said, mindset shift is everything. Everything. Perceive it. Now we have said millions today. We have said it. So you already have every tool. If there's any question or anything you want me to repeat, put it. And that's why, that community is going to help as well. The $1 Million League is going to help because, we'll have actionable steps, right? If you are debating or something comes up or whatever, right? You know that you can actually get help in terms of, okay, what should I do? Okay, there's a loss of, let me just give an example. There was one person I was talking to, and they were going to, the person was almost going to foreclosure, right? And I said, you know what, you're driving a Tesla, so why can't you just drive? I just asked, okay, so why can't you do Uber? You're not working anyways, you lost your job, you're losing your house, and because the person actually came to me to see, okay, maybe I can buy the property, or I can get some of my people within my network that might be interested in the property instead of going into foreclosure. And I said, so why? Okay, that's fine, we'll be doing that, but I don't think you need to go into foreclosure or whatever. You're not working right now, so why can't you ride Uber? And he gave me every excuse in this world. It's Tesla, the battery is going to go off, something is going to, I cannot use. And I said, okay, well, I'll help you with it, but I think you have a tool in your hands. But because you are not just ready, guess what? The person calls me 2 weeks later and he said, thank you so much for that. 5 minutes conversation. He said, now I don't need to go into foreclosure because right now I make about $200 every single day. I can pay my bills, and at the same time, I can I can start paying some of the, I've made some things towards arrangement with the bank that I'm going to be paying this certain amount of money, and because they've already moved into another house, to a rented apartment, so I'm going to reduce my rent and I'm going to augment it for a couple of, and guess what, everything was settled. It's like the person moved from here to here. Guess what changed? I didn't do anything. I did not give him money, nothing. It was just a mindset shift. And I said, okay, so what happened? He said he used the Uber. That all the time that he was telling me, he was giving me all the excuse because he did not allow, he did not want mileage on the Tesla. And he did not want, what's it called? He doesn't want it to lose its value. I said, but how much is the Tesla? He said he bought it like maybe 70,000 or whatever years ago. But now I said, so what's it worth now? He said it worth 20,000 or something. I said, so why are you bothered about it? Just keep driving it for another 10 years or another 8 years. He's already lost his value in the first place. So it really doesn't matter. Right now, we're talking about, staying afloat is what really matters, right? And guess what? That's how this guy, really, I know that men, I was so proud of you because most men never talk. Especially when a man now comes to talk to a woman, no man wants to, even if they're going to die with their ego, they want to die with the ego, but he came and that was it. That was it. Today he's back on his job. He stopped driving Uber. He dropped. So do whatever you need to do. Stop acting rich. Anybody that sees him driving a Tesla, in his very nice shirt and everything, we never know that he did not have a penny in his pocket, right? And that was the mindset that he was still trying to look rich. Okay, what will people say if I'm riding Uber, or if I see a friend that, who cares? Who really cares? The person wasn't helping you to pay your bills, or will not come to save you from what's it called, foreclosure, right? Nobody cares. For worst case, if you feel that you are too big, wear a face cap and wear a black shade. Nobody sees you. And if you see somebody that change your voice. That's the worst thing that can happen, right? That's the worst thing that can happen. But guess what? You're building your own wealth. You come out of it. You come out of it strong. And this is for anybody that's like, okay, maybe you went down the hill, or things are not, life is happening, or life is life right now. Just know that things are going to get better, right? If you have to lower yourself for a little bit to come back to on the winning side. But guess what? That's mindset. That's all that you need right now. And if you know that, okay, you are doing okay, and it's for you to scale, right? Whatever you're doing right now, you can scale it even faster and move from $1 million status to a multi-million. They said that the most difficult part of the money for you to become a millionaire, right? The most difficult is the first 100,000. And I explained it earlier, right? Is the first 100,000. Once you get that 100,000, trust me, to become a million, it's much easier. And when you get your first 1 million, to become a multi-million, to scale it is always it's quicker. And then from a million, million to 10 million is another. All those milestones is a little bit difficult. But once you get it, to scale it is, yeah, right, yeah. So, and that's really it. That's really it. Okay. So thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. Because if you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you doing, right? What are you doing? Except you haven't found value in whatever thing that I've talked about today. Baba Olowo, Jennifer, the P5, Stephanie, Gideon, how are you? How did the closing go? Right? How did the closing? I haven't seen you. How is the new house? How is the new house? Yeah, you should tell us, you should give us all the gist about it. How did the closing and all of that go? Z Big, how are you? Thank you so much for the follow, right? Except so, and on my YouTube is Money Talk with Dr. Lina. The doctor is DR. And you, by the way, if you are just finding me and you're saying, I've heard people say, I say this because people will say, somebody posts and said, Dr. Lina, are you PhD? Hey, Bill McKim, welcome. Yeah, are you, Dr. Lina? Are you? Do you have a doctorate or do you have PhD? And I'm like, do you think the doctor is AKA? No, our doctor is not AKA. I'm a doctor of business and technology, so I learned it in the book, right? And at the same time, I'm a serial investor with double-digit real estate portfolio. Okay, so I know end to end. So when I say manage, own and manage, okay, end to end, seeing the good, bad, and the ugly, okay. And of course, I have the knowledge of technology because of course I have doctorate in information systems, and I teach AI cybersecurity in deep learning as well. So I'm a chartered accountant and also an economist. So so many things that gives me the authority. I say this because I try to let people know. So whatever thing I'm saying it out of what I've learned from the education standpoint to what I've learned, being an investor. And I've, been in corporate America almost 2 decades. So when I tell you that it is just that your income, what you do with it is what is going to help you build wealth. I mean it because I've been there. That's what helped me build wealth. It's not the it's not the salary, it's not the income from one parent or anybody. That's what helped me. So that's why I know this whole thing works, right? I'm not telling you what somebody I read from one book or somebody. So even though I read a lot, I have so many of this book I read because I am also learning, right? That's how I got to know how to build. Why I'm using ETFs, I'm not doing stocks, right? Because I put money in stocks. I put almost 100,000 in stock and I lost it to day trading, options trading, and penny stocks, right? So, but then that's how I was able to switch to smart investing and I do real estate, and that definitely works because I researched, I read books, and I realized that whether the wealthy, the multimillionaire, and the billionaires, where did they put the money? I looked at the first two. The first two is that's what I put in this principle. Okay. So I talk about 4 pillars of wealth summary. And I'm going to wrap up with the 4 pillars of wealth. Number one is your skill, your income, high income, right? Because I'm helping professional income starts first. Number two, Mr. Fifona Fana, welcome. Number two is I talk about your smart investing, right? Index fund, ETFs, all of those. Number three, I talk about real estate, which is a major wealth accelerator, right? Number four, I call it the financial fortress. The financial fortress simply means the financial discipline that comes with it because you need the discipline, right? The financial literacy, getting education, very key. And of course, the financial planning, your 401k, your trust, protection, all of those kind of things. Right now I'm learning about, things like IUL because everybody's asking about it. I'm learning about trust. Those are things that I'm learning about just so in terms of protection. So when you build all this million, what happens? You want to make sure that it's protected from the orc. Some people want to sue you because they know that, oh, this person is now doing, this person has money. Some people want to take away from you. So how do you protect it? Things like probate, God forbid, something happens. What happens to your family in the whole process? Is it going to go to probate, or do you already have a trust that is going to protect you, make sure that everything that you have worked on goes to the right persons, go to your family, your children are well taken care of, right? And not that 20%, 30% of it goes to the government, right? So those are things that, the financial planning, your 401k for your future, your present, those are things that, and then everything, or if you do all of this thing, is to what end? To one thing. It's called financial freedom, right? It's called financial freedom. That's how you gain your freedom to live life at your own term. And it helps you to build the 4 types of wealth, 3 types of wealth. It helps you to build money wealth, the peace wealth, the health wealth, and the time wealth. That's what it helps you to build. So in this community, it's all those 4 as well that you're building. Your health, your peace, your time, and of course the money. Okay. So awesome. So we can wrap up here. If you haven't seen my latest video, that it's over right now, it's at 1.1 million. I'm excited about it because I've reached a lot more people on Instagram. Go watch it and see all of the comments that's cracking me up every single night, that I'm responding to every single night. Go watch that. It's over 1.1 million views now. As of yesterday, it was. Oh, you need to talk to me. Yeah, absolutely. Send me a DM, or you can, if you really need a one-on-one consultation. It depends on what you want to talk about. One-on-one consultation, you can find the link in the bio. It's Stan Store. You'd see it there, and you can book a time with me. Absolutely. Maybe you want something personalized or whatever. But I always say there's some free resources for you on my YouTube channel already that you can actually leverage. Go exhaust that first, right? And if you still have any question, absolutely, take go on the link in the bio. It's You find it there, and you can actually book a 1 hour session with me, and we can definitely talk about it. Great. So I know that I have how many people here? How many people here? I do have 4 people or 5 right now on this other end. So I'm thinking that I know Stephanie is already subscribed to my YouTube channel. So P5, I don't know if you have, if you haven't, consider doing that as well. That would just really, because I want to make sure that you all see the long form videos as well. Babalo, it's Money Talk with Dr. Lina, if you're wondering. And Gideon, yeah, it's Money Talk with Dr. Lina. You're there. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Great. So let's all, and for my people here on, oh, Rachel, don't I know you? Procter & Gamble? Hi, don't I know you? Okay, I said there's another person that bears that name. Oh, okay. There's another person that has that name. That's the exact name that I worked with in Procter & Gamble like 13, how many years ago now? Yeah, 13 or 14 years ago, or even 17. Yeah. Awesome. And if you're for my YouTube community, if you haven't subscribed, I hope you got a lot of value today. If you have, right, please subscribe. Please go subscribe. I'm going to be releasing a video tomorrow at 9 a.m. long form video on YouTube. Please go watch it. I know that it's going to help you because every little information, I always say knowledge is power. I get knowledge all of these people, I get knowledge from everywhere, just so I can build that's how I grow in knowledge. As a matter of fact, like I said, I had to pay for consultancy for 2 hours. I mean, that's what I did today, and I'm going to be doing it for the next 2 weekends, just so I can set up all this, what's it called? Community, all of those things. So I go to all those people that, the people that know it, right? Get knowledge from that. So you want to subscribe, and on my Instagram as well, it's Money Talk with Dr. Lina across board. Okay. All right. I hope I was able to add 1 or 2 value today. Thank you so much all for hanging out with me, because even if I had this knowledge, if you're not on the other side, there's nobody to share with. I'll just be a crazy person, just talking to myself. Okay. So thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Oh yeah, absolutely. Skibby D trade. Absolutely. I'm glad you found it. Yeah, I'm glad you found it very, very helpful. And please all look forward to the community coming money, $1 million league, right? Be on the lookout for it. I am just, you welcome the P5 $1 million league. We are just going to, like I said, this is not, followership, that's fine. Subscription, that's amazing. However, this is a movement, right? This is a movement. That's one thing I call it, such that, like the pioneers, you're seeing it and you're going to bring some other people on board, because you would see if it works for you, because this is like a blueprint, right? It's either it's happening or it's not happening. Like, you see the results. Like, milestones that you can set yourself, right? So this is more like a movement. Awesome. God word domain. Awesome. All right. Well, I'll see you guys. Enjoy your night, and I'll see you all to hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully, maybe lunchtime, normal time, which is 12. But make sure that you set up your notification so whenever I go live, you are also notified, and get your daily admin. And for the people that did daily admin, remember to take it up there, claim it up there. Okay. Thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. So, Babalowo, you can actually book it. Go on. Let me know if you need help with that. Go on. What's it called? On Stantor, you see there. You should be able to see there. You can book a 1 hour session if you want something that is specific to you. Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a great night and have a great Sunday ahead. If you go to church tomorrow, whatever you believe in, stay blessed. Have a good one. Let your money be working harder than you do. Bye. And my YouTube community, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you later. Let your money be working harder than you do. Have a good one. Bye.